Hey everyone, welcome back to Pine Hollow Auto Diagnostics, part 2 of the 2017 Jeep Wrangler P0394 Bank 2 Camshaft correlation code. So, it's not a correlation code, it's a circuit code, but we know there's nothing wrong with the signal of the cam sensor. It's fussing about it being out of range. So, I got a new camshaft and a phaser on hand. The owner just wants me to install it and get rid of this issue. Can we narrow it down further? Just the phaser or just the cam? Not without replacing parts, I don't think. Because I didn't like the signature on the camshaft. The pulses were about 5 degrees too narrow. And I've talked to some other people and they say sometimes the phaser causes this problem. So if we're replacing a camshaft, we're also replacing that phaser. So I'm just taking it on one more test drive. Looking at the camshaft advanced data. So under load, see 40 degrees on bank 2 and 30 degrees on bank 1. It hasn't tripped the code just yet. It still has good power. .47 degrees versus 37 degrees. I don't like that. See if I can get it to act up, but right now everything seems to be working okay. They're just 10 degrees off. There we go. So the code just tripped. I lost power. We're stuck at 48 degrees on bank 2 intake cam. So that's when it's out of range. It's just too far. But desired and actual seem to match up pretty well. Very weird. You see the duty cycle is about 60%, just like the other side. So as you can see, every time cam was full advance, this is like 45 and that's 35. So there's a discrepancy of 10 degrees. But on here, it's perfect. So what I want to do before tearing this thing apart, just to be 100%, let's do a cam crank relearn and see if any of the numbers change. Okay, engine cannot be running. Okay. Please start engine. Okay. Cam crank relearn in progress. Then I want to look at those 8 data PIDs again, just to make sure we still have a problem. Well, it says cam crank relearn failed, please try again. I guess I can try it one more time, but why did that fail? Alright, so we failed again, and the check engine light actually came on. let's see if it set any codes during the attempt. Bank 1, camshaft 1, position slow response. What the heck? We have nothing to do with bank 1, cam 1, at least before. So we'll save that in a report. So strange. Let's clear that out. Engine can't be running. Okay. You try one more time. Well, failed again. So, not sure why that is. No codes are set this time. Oh, I guess we did get a pending bank 1, camshaft 1 position slow response. Alrighty, I'm going to install this bank 2 cam with the phaser and we'll see if it changes anything. Peeling back the onion, got the driver's side valve cover off. As expected, everything looks just perfect. Arrows are lining up, cams are lining up, all the little spool valves aren't stuck or anything. They feel just fine. The magnetic valves are also fine. So what do? Change the bank 2 intake cam with the phaser. I don't see anything else to do. Let's figure out how to get this tensioner retracted and get this cam out of here. Alright, so first I want to loosen up this big phaser bolt. 35mm socket, and I already cracked it loose. There, I should be able to get it off by hand now. Go. So that turns. Now to retract the tensioner. So this is going to be tough to show on camera, but I have a bicycle spoke with a little 90-degree bend. You want to come in here and stick it in the hole on the side of the tensioner. That will release the little pawl mechanism. You can see that screw looking thing on top, it's moving now. So when I pull that up, I'll be able to depress the whole guide sideways, and that'll release the tension from the chain. Now the question is, how do we keep it here? It's the spring load is pretty tight. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe get the phaser out. You see it goes back. There's a special tool, obviously, to hold the guide in the collapsed position. See, the chain's loose now. Let me figure something out, maybe some sort of clamp wedge mechanism. Keep that depressed. Alright, so the bolt is out of the phaser, and the phaser is loose on the camshaft. And my pry bar there is holding the Let's see if we can slip this sucker off. It's still really hot. And there it is. Now I do want to support the cam chain with something. Alright, cracking the cam caps loose. Camshaft and phaser coming right up. Alright, camshaft is out. It's right here. Here's a brand new replacement OEM Mopar part. You want to make sure that it says LI for left intake, just like the old one. I guess it's missing a little Pentastar logo. The little ring is in the same spot. So let's pop this sucker in and put on a new phaser. Cross your fingers, people. Alright, we got a brand new phaser here. OEM. You see the part number. The old one ends with an AH. This one's an AI, the latest one. So let's pop this on the new camshaft. That's torqued down, pre-lubed. And put this thing back together. See what happens with the valve timing. Alright, new camshaft. New phaser, all OEM parts installed. Timing marks line right up. So I'm going to slap the valve cover back on. Cross your fingers. I don't know. 50-50 shot here. Alright, moment of truth. She's all buttoned up. First, let's take a look at scan data. Then we'll hook up the pico scope, measure the exact cam crank correlation. I don't know. Make sure it runs. Okay, seems to be happy. Let's jump into Jeep and take a look at these VVT angles. Now I expect the intake on bank 2 to be slightly different on the scan data on the degrees when we take it for a test drive. Hopefully it'll match bank 1, but bank 1 had a slow response code after we tried the cam crank relearn, so I really don't know. Alright, here we go. So now intake cam 2 is negative, so is intake cam 1. So there's a difference there. We still hear the exhaust phasers are doing their thing. We could try doing the cam crank relearn again. We'll just take it for a test drive, see how these react. Alright, here we go. Let's do full advance here. $34, $31, $36, $32. So we're definitely not 10 degrees higher than the other bank anymore. So I think that's promising. I'm hoping this is a fix. $46.41. I just want to find a longer steep grade so we can max out these cams. And I'm sorry about the glare. a few degrees. More advanced on bank 2 versus bank 1, but not 10 degrees, like maybe 5. Well, still no check engine light. I went about 10 miles up, you know, the same scenario where the code used to set. No DTCs. Now on scan data, it doesn't look all that different. So what changed? I don't know, but as long as the code doesn't come back, the customer will be happy and I will be happy. This is one of those scenarios where you're not 100% sure. You know approximately what's going on, but obviously replacing the phaser and the camshaft fixed the issue. The truck is happy. The Jeep is happy. So let's go back to the shop, scope all the cams again, see if anything changed, if the pulse width changed, and we'll call the customer and say, hey, it's fixed. Come pick it up, and we'll see you next time. Ah, crap. Check engine light. Yep, we're locked out. Damn it. What the heck?